So I talked about our basic needs, right? So we have the external basic needs, which is clothing, which is, a home that we feel safe. So, like the environment. And then we have our physical needs, which are being fed, being kept warm, being kept clean, being kept hydrated. So those are physical needs, basic physical needs. And then we have the basic emotional needs, right? Which are to feel loved, to feel like we belong, to feel understood, to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel validated. But we also have basic spiritual needs. And trust is an essential soul need, an essential spiritual need. Did you know that? It is. Trust is a soul need. That's why, as human beings, we climb this mountain of trust our whole life. We seek to trust others and ourselves and the environment and the divine our whole life because it's our soul need. As I said last week, at a soul level, we trust without no doubts whatsoever. We never doubt about what the universe can provide. We never doubt that trust doesn't exist. We just know it at a soul level. But as human beings, with our ego taking, a huge part of how we behave in our life, it takes that power away, takes that knowing away. But because that is a soul need, we have this quest during our entire life to seek for trust because that need is not being met. And when our soul evolves without this capacity to trust, as adults, we live with a wounded child inside of us. A wounded child that is constantly seeking for attention, seeking for love, seeking for security, seeking for understanding, seeking for belonging. It is very helpful to think of trust or knowing that trust grows from our human need to be safe, to be accepted, to be validated, to belong, and to survive. But if you go back to, centuries ago, prehistoric times, and then after that, we as humans, we always needed to belong. Not belonging to a community, not belonging to a tribe meant death. You will die. You couldn't make it on your own, and being outcast meant death. So as humans, we have this need, to belong, to feel safe, to be validated and accepted in this tribe, in this community. At a soul level, we also need to have trust. that is also a need, right? And it grows. The trust grows. That's not a thing that you have it or not. No, you make it grow. The more you meet those, your human need and your soul need for trusting, practicing the act of trust, not letting your ego take that power of knowing away. It grows. The more you meet those needs, the more trust will grow. The key for our capacity to trust, for our capacity to love, for our capacity to be our authentic selves is there in the unconscious mind, in all the pain and memories that were buried, because it's less painful to remember that. It's less painful if we deny that we went through it, if we pretend it's not there. And I want to reassure you that reconnecting with your authentic self, with your essence, who you truly are, your true identity, is possible. And learning to trust yourself again is possible. And in order to do that, it is important to recognize your emotions. It is important that you recognize and you actually say it, that you feel angry, that you feel let down, that you feel betrayed, that you feel rejected, or you feel sad, that you feel injured, that you feel resentful. It is important that you admit that, even that you don't understand why. That's not the point. The point is to honor your feelings, honor your emotions without judgment, without criticizing it, without feeling guilty, without feeling shame. Just recognize that you have those emotions, even if you don't understand the core reason why. That you can get on later on. But it is important because those emotions that you feel, even though you might not understand them, they are clues for the core pain that you feel and for the core of the mistrust that you feel at this moment. And I always tell my clients, and in my online courses, one of the things that I touch on, the very first thing that I touch on, because it is the first step on the healing journey and on the ability or capacity to leaning into trust, is having awareness, having the awareness of what you feel, of what you think. Because the work can be done after this. The awareness is the first stage. And then we can explore why you have these feelings, why you have these thoughts, what is the core experience that you might or may not remember, but that is connected to why you're feeling this way. Having the awareness is key. So, as I was saying, all of this starts with the first step, which is awareness. Awareness of the truth, the true emotions, the true thoughts, the true feelings. And then exploring that truth to move on to your healing journey. You know, these are steps. There are steps. There is a path that you can take to make it more clear for you, less painful, and give you the clarity and the healing and the soul connection that your soul seeks, in order for you to live a more free life, more happy life, you know, more connected, more grounded, more aligned. And as you know, my journaling deck named T.R.U.S.T, it's almost, you know, it's almost ready for pre-orders. Let me show you. And in this journaling deck, I take you on this journey, on this pathway, the trust pathway that I guide my clients in our one-to-ones, in my group programs. So this trust pathway is the basis of this journaling deck. And the first suite is truth. And this first suite, you know, it is the stage where you will get awareness about the truth that are behind the narratives, behind the pain, behind the wounds. Is exploring this truth, having the awareness of your emotions, of your thoughts. Again, without judgment, without, you know, blame or shame. Everything has to be done with compassion, with kindness, with love, with acceptance. Because trust starts within, right? Everything starts within. And there is no better way to exploring this truth than journaling. Because journaling, as I like to call it, it's soul writing. And soul writing is a spiritual practice. And I think I'm going to do a live soon about some of the spiritual practice that you can commit on a daily basis, or at least regularly, because this journey of soul connection, of soul exploration, of hearing your inner voice, your intuition, the main thing that you have to do is dedicate to a spiritual practice. You know, it's not a one and done thing. It's a thing like you have to practice in order for it to grow and evolve and give you the answers you seek and this amazing connection with the divine. You really need to practice it. And there are many spiritual practice that you can explore and see what are the ones that resonate with you the most. And soul writing is one of them. There's nothing better than putting your heart and your soul into paper and connecting with your inner voice. And that first suit, truth, is one of them.